Okay. I really want to have a starting screen. It's driving me bonkers. No, I don't want that. Yeah, I know about tags. Go back. Not Horizon Chiefs. Horizon Zero. There we go. Okay. Hey, Christopher. How am I? Oh, sorry, hold on. I've missed all of chat so far. Hello. You're listening to an interview on the Smartless podcast with Tika Watiti. I was laughing so much at the interview. Are you? You got off. What don't you want her and she? Oh, the game thing went to a I was fixing the game category to Horizon Dawn, and somehow it ended up selecting some weird game that also has the name Horizon in it, but is not Horizon Dawn. So, yeah, my life is just being frustrating right now to me. Why is there an echo? Go away, echo. Okay. Stop doing that. There's an ad break about to happen. I have to okay my own chat rules. Alright. Sorry about that. So, I'm gonna wait till this ad break is over before I start playing. Is the game showing up for you, Christopher? Hopefully it is. It looks like it is in my stream manager, and yeah, now it is in all my stream managers. Oh, okay, good. Do you have a place on Discord to share the podcast I was listening to? I don't want to share it. It's the wrong place. You could share it to radio waves or what is it about? I mean, it really doesn't matter. It's just, like, based on what it's about and who you want to see it. I mean, the Discord is kind of stalled. So I just haven't had the bandwidth in my brain to try to figure out how to get it up and running and my stream all at the same time. So Oh, look. Yay. Did that work? Did that actually post? No. The map is showing up for you. Oh. Why is that showing up for me? But why is it only visible to me? Where the hell is my stream element? Damn it. Yeah, and there's a post that's... There's supposed to be a stream element warning that there's an ad coming, and there wasn't. So that's just annoying. What is down here in my activity feed? Crowd control, Streamlabs, bro. No, I'm not gonna do that right now. Oh, okay. So you can see it. Good. Good. Maybe I need to refresh my other things. Oh, God. That's good that it worked, though. I turned on a few stream element things that hopefully work. I added a few channel point redeems. As well as the basic ones that are there. And I did not get around to sub badges yet. I'm so sorry. I will get sub badges, I promise. At least the 1 month and the 3 month, because that will give me a little bit of thing. You like the highs? Oh, good. I'm glad that you like the highs. I wasn't really happy with the cloudy high, and so I made the other one, and I'm happier with it, but it's still kind of, I don't know, you know, it's kind of busy and whatever. Cloudy is actually in that one. He's at the very top left corner, but he's so tiny, he's just a little white puffy cloud, you know. But it's actually full cloudy face. I just shrunk him. So, and I made raindrops. They all have faces. You can't really see them either. I don't know how to post them somewhere where people can see them besides putting them on the Discord, which I have not done yet, but they all have faces. So, but I had to make his teeth blue instead of white because he looked really weird with a bright white dot at the end of the blue, the middle drop. So now he has just a bright blue, and you can kind of see white specks where the eyes are in the other ones, but hey, it's a teeny tiny image. It's even smaller than emote, so yeah. So that's that. Oh, okay, well, it's over, so I guess we can figure out what we're doing. I don't remember what I was doing here. I know I was getting flowers, and then I got roped into some quests. Oh yeah, I've got that one. So let's see. Okay, so That's a corrupted zone. It's a hunting ground. There's a flower down there and some more over there. And vantage points over there. But pretty much it looks like we've got just this to go. So I guess we'll just head back over there because I've got to stop like here. No, wait. I gotta stop somewhere along here for this other quest. There. So I'll go back there. And then we'll do the Grave Horde. So, dang it. My cat was chewing on my headphones, I think. So, Chris, is your name different in Discord? I guess I could just look at what you just posted to confirm it instead of admitting my ignorance, but okay, that's what I thought it was. I was 98.9% positive that was you. And, yeah, so I think that's a good place for it, because that's like radio and podcast, music, podcast, kind of, you know. I think that's a good place. I think that's where I would put it. So, unless it was specifically about technology, equipment, and computers, and or video games, then maybe I would have put it under one of the other ones, you know, or a TV and movie, you know, kind of thing. So, okay, well, good luck to you people. Thanks for taking me out of my way. Does my quest take me? Oh yeah, my quest is my quest, okay. Man, I've been playing this game for quite a while now, right? And I totally forgot that. Oh, look there! Oh, look, it did. It ran my little note. Okay, I actually put in 2 notes in. I want to see if it actually uses the second note at all, or if it always is going to use this note. It's kind of silly, because, like, the timer is... I forget how often the timer is. TV and movies, because they talk about different movies and films he has worked on, like Jojo Rabbit, Thor, Ragnarok, and The Mandalorian. Yeah. Well, if... I don't know if there's a way to, like... You could always post something underneath the thing and say, like, hey, if you're a fan of this, go check out the podcast. I wrote more about it and posted in Radio Waves. I don't know. Or link posted in Radio Waves. Something like that, if you really want people to see it. But, like I said, it's kind of still small. The Discord is not doing... It's about like my game. It's kind of...
I'll find a use for you.
I keep getting more... I can't say that I've leveled off, because I am getting more followers. I'm just not getting a lot more active followers that are chatting, that are speaking up. Although I did have a high of 8 unique chatterers the other day, so I guess I am still going. Everything's still going positive. It's just feeling kind of overwhelming, which I guess is normal. So, and I need to not be a whiny butt about it, because otherwise people are going to think I'm ungrateful. It's not that. your viewers are pretty active compared to some Twitch streams. Amon? Oh, that's good. I mean, I've got like you and Scrap and Banana and David and Brian. And I don't know if JK's ever come in. But yeah, I do have some pretty loyal. Actually, a couple of new people too have popped in recently and come back. Benji has been in a couple times. And that was good, cool. Oh, and my medicine pouch is full. Yay me. I am very tired from this week. When they're in chat and Twitch, they are active, and occasionally you get a raid. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I have been making sure that I raid out, even if there's not really anybody left in here by the time I leave. And that helps get me some raids. And then I think, well, King something. King, he came in because he's playing this game also. He had like just finished or something, so he came in from the same category, so that was cool. You got a few good raids. You get a few good raids, you'll gain more of an audience. Yeah. Yep. Like I said, I don't have any reason to complain, and I'm not trying to complain. I think I'm just stressed different ways. And so it may be coming out more based on the raids. Yeah. That's why I try not to raid like big people all the time, because you tend to get more lost. Like your raid isn't as, I don't want to say your raid isn't as important to them when you raid in with like 2 or 3 people that are probably asleep, is usually my case by the time I'm done playing. But I tend to raid places that I know people and are small, and or I will raid. You might have followed because you were playing Spider-Man. Yeah, I was playing Spider-Man 2. I played through Spider-Man 1, PlayStation 4, and then I played Miles Morales, then played PlayStation Spider-Man 2, then Stray, then Guardians of the Galaxy, and now this game. And that has been everything I've done. So, yeah. Yeah, I think you were, I mean, because I know you from, you know, we have a common...
Low and quiet does it.
I really don't feel like fighting. I started on Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, the PlayStation 4 one. I played on my PS5 because my PS5 was not, when I first got it, I got the Slim. I got the Spider-Man 2 Slim bundle when it came out. And it was not, it kept...
I thought they'd go on forever.
It kept, I think that you followed me because I raided into, Trey. No, I haven't raided Trey's. I don't know where else I would have, I don't know. But I did talk about my stream in Trey's a couple of times when I first started, or that I'd been playing Spider-Man 2 before. So, I don't know. If that just brought you over hearing about it or what. So... I'm not fighting a Thunderhawk. And I don't even want to fight Glinthawks. Oh gosh, this is that stupid hunting ground. Don't want to fight hawks or long legs. I just don't. I hate them all. Jesus, that thing scares me. Ugh. Yeah, it could have been a raid or just in passing or... I don't know. Oh, I did my computer. Oh, okay, don't go to sleep, you stupid thing. Yeah, we both followed Trey, but you think you followed from a raid. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've gotten a couple of raids, so it's definitely possible. Oh man, why are you in my way? If I fight you, then I'll have to fight the stupid birds. I wouldn't mind kicking the alligator's butt, but I don't feel like kicking the bird's butt. I suppose I could turn the alligator on my side. That way, if the bird sees me, I'll be all set, but...
And one of these?
We'll see. Now, lizard. You behave. Well, apparently it doesn't use my second message. Why does it give me an option of putting a second message in there if it's going to ignore it? Oh well. I might have to turn the timing off on... Then space them further apart. They're kind of spaced close together now, aren't they? Oh well. New things. What can I say? I'm still trying to figure all the crap out. And even watching YouTube ads, it's like really confusing because my homepage doesn't ever look like the homepages that they're looking at for some reason. And I'm like, what the hell? I don't see any of the menus that they're talking about. And it's just really confusing. Stay away from me, you dumb bird. Oh. Are you fighting a gator? Huh. Are you and the gator fighting? Yes. Don't see me, don't see me, don't see me.
Go quietly.
Oh, crap. I don't want to fight a Thunderhawk. Oh, dang it. question is both. The humans in the past made them capable of self-replication. Whew. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know where my backup was on that one. Over there chewing on some fish or something. Oh my goodness, what am I ditching? Oh, I've got lots of those. Sure, I'll get rid of one of those and one of those. Okay, a terror coil, a corruption coil, and a shock coil. A shock coil. Yep. How many robots did you get? 3. It was 3, 2 snap maws, and a thunder. Oh, maybe another one. 3 big ones.
Should have brought a car.
Fire coil. I thought there was 5. Yeah, it's. I'm not sure they're. Oh, there was. These guys were probably the whole reason it attacked me. The dumb jerks. See, that stupid gator, if he'd decided to come over, he's on my side. He would have actually fought for me, not against me. The idiot didn't follow me. Oh my gosh, I've got to change that. Hold on, where's my Streamlab? Where's my Streamlab? Oh, it actually starts in 1 minute and 3 seconds, so... Oh, okay. Well, I can tell you since the ad break is coming soon anyway. So what they had modifications units pretty much, and like I can take these modifications and I could put them on my weapons or some of them down here on my clothing. And so purple are very rare, blue are rare, and green are common, which just means they're lower power, you know, so it's average, above average, and great. And so the bigger the animal, the higher the modification things it's gonna usually carry. So I want all purple mods, and so I wasn't even ditching them, I was disassembling them, which means that, you see, like it says a value 50 metal pieces. When I disassemble things, I get 50% of the value, instead of, if I could trade it off to a trader, I could get the full value. But I'm not really hurting for shards right now because I have 27,000, and I don't even modify that much of my stuff. All the stuff that I use is already modified. I don't know, it's not all quite purple yet, but it's almost all purples. I should probably go in and update them pretty soon. Yeah, you don't see the ads, I know. Why is it only now taking the short break? Okay. What in the world? I don't know. So, yeah, you don't see the ads, because, yeah, Scrap gave you, yeah, so, so I was getting rid of lower, and most of the time I try to see what exact modifications that I'm getting in the purple. That way, like, that last one was a shock coil modification, so I went and got rid of my lowest shock coil modification that I had, so that way when I got the newer one, it was one of those two, either this one or this one. So that way I'm just trading out like for like, instead of cashing out something else, because I can only carry 70 of those. But like, look at my weapons, like, okay, so this bow, I have to go into crafting, modify. Dude, why did that turn off? There we go. Okay, So this bow has a damage coil that's blue. So we can go in here and we can change this to a damage coil that is 41% instead of 35%. Now, you can see all the green is the positives, obviously, but in this particular one, the damage coil does a lot more because the blue one is damage, tear, and fire. It happens to be more of a like spread. So I don't want to actually put this one on because although it will up my stats in power, my damage power by a total of 5, I will reduce the handling, which essentially is like the aim, or actually it's like the tear part of those arrows, which means how easily it takes off armor, and would go down by 13, and the fire arrows would go down by 4 less for the actual fire damage, and then the tear damage would go down another 4 on the first one. So this one with the damage and having tear and fire, it actually still is a better thing, which is the risk you take when you're just swapping out blues for purples. But for the most part, a really good purple or a semi-good purple is going to be better than your worst blue. But Woohoodles 2 on Instagram, I follow her thanks to A-Tray, and Ash said hi thanks to A-Tray doing raids. Woohoodles on Twitch. I don't know if I follow Woohoodles. I think I do. I'm not positive. I'm familiar with Woohoodles, at least. Oh, this one's like all blue, man. Let's see, this tear is an easy upgrade, and it's my rope caster. I need that. I need better rope casting. Because I don't really use the shadow string or my trip caster that much, or the blast sling, because I suck at using the slings. But that's another thing I do. If you see, like here, I have greens. Something that I often do is I need to take all these greens off and put them all with blues, because you can kind of use all these extra weapons that you're not going to use anymore as sort of extra. Hey Leo, welcome. It's a Zoe stream. It is. Welcome. This is Christopher. He's an A-Tray fan as well. Leo has been coming into A-Trays for the last couple of, at least 2 weeks. Has it been 2 weeks, Leo, that I've seen you in there? I don't know if you were like longer than that or what, but yeah. So last night Ash said hi. I was playing the Star Trek stream on Twitch, and it was cool hearing Aaron Eisenberg's voice as Nog. Gotcha. You've been there months now. Okay. Yeah, see, I my brain has been out of it, and I'm not the hugest Fallout fan, and I've probably been a little salty in chat because she played 2 weeks of Final Fantasy VII, and then she was only supposed to go back and forth between playing Final Fantasy and Fallout, and then we had 2 months of Fallout. And then she's like, well, I don't know what game I'm gonna play next. And it's like, the game you're already playing, Final Fantasy, come on. I've been waiting like months for you to go back to the game. Yeah, and then Fallout just never ends. I'm like, okay, I'm just done with it. and Fallout's not really, I mean, it's an interesting game. It has good lore. There's a lot to do. It just doesn't capture me in a way that like this game or other games have captured my attention. So I just, I don't know. And I know it's totally a Trey game, and I love how enthusiastic she is about it. And I'm really bad about my bedtime, and so it's probably good that she hasn't been playing Final Fantasy, because I stay up way too late when she plays Final Fantasy and stuff, because it's a game I want to see every second of. And yeah, so the world building. Oh, Starfield again. Okay, I haven't seen her play it in the first time yet, Christopher, so I don't know. But yeah, I want her to go back to FF so much, because she said she was only like, she was gonna switch between the two, and then she went and played that whole game. And it's like, I know that Rebirth wasn't what she was expecting after playing Remake, but I feel like, hey Scrap, I feel like it let her down, and I don't want her to be disappointed in the game, because it's such a personal favorite of mine. So like, I wish that we could see, I don't want her to play another 2 months of one game, because I don't know if that's good for anybody. Like, I think there's always going to be people that like a game, and always going to be people that love a game, and always going to be people that dislike a game, and always going to be people that hate a game. Yes, she finally did finish Envy, finally, so she can move on. But when she says, I don't know what I'm going to play next, it really is like, no, you're supposed to play Final Fantasy. You were supposed to play like 2 weeks of that, and then 2 weeks of this, and then 2 weeks of that, and 2 weeks of this, and that's what we were supposed to be doing for the last couple months. And instead, it's been 2 months of Fallout. So, often you can't stay up for the video games. Usually like her nerd news, the Star Trek stuff, or the music, the chat interaction. Yeah. So I really hope she will get back to it next week and not play another game. If she does play a game, I hope it's short, sweet, small, 1 to 2, like something she can finish in less than a week. But yeah, I need her to play something that's more my level, I guess. But I just don't want to see her give up on it, because she loves Remake. She had so much passion when she played Remake, and then she started Rebirth and was like, well, I'm going to give it some time, and then I don't want to be in this world too long, and then she was in the Fallout world even deeper for even longer than if she'd played straight through Rebirth, I think. So, yeah, it's usually super late. It is super late for me too, because we're all on the same time zone, but she says she gets the franchise fatigue, but she doesn't in Fallout. She's not getting Fallout fatigue, and I'm ready for her to have it. And I think she does a little bit, because if she didn't, I think she would be playing another ending. And I'm glad she just watched them online. I'm trying not to be salty about it while I'm in her chat, in her thread, or in here, because I love Trey. She is a very, very sweet person, and she's very enjoyable, and I love her chat, and I love her community, and that's what I still do. Go in there almost every night that she's on. Actually, I'm on pretty much every night that she's on, in there for at least a little bit. I just have been kind of skipping most of the gameplay usually, but that's okay, because that means I go to bed at a reasonable time. So you'll catch Trey's gameplay usually because she streams early, or I got up at night to go to the restroom. Gotcha. Yeah, she does like the cosplay opportunity, and I think it was really popular, so it did good. And it's good to play popular games that you like. She wasn't struggling to play it to stay in a popular category. It had the the tie-ins that were necessary for her to do, cosplays and stuff like that. But, like, she has cosplay. I mean, like, Final Fantasy VII is, like, one of the original cosplay games, man. Like, there has been Final Fantasy cosplays almost as long as there's been cosplays, period. So, yeah. So I'm just kind of like, I just don't want her to not like Final Fantasy because I love FF7 Originals so much. And I also want to see Rebirth through her play because I plan to play it myself at some point, but I just, it's just one of those things where I really want to see her play it, and I want to see her reactions to it, because I don't know how they've changed it. I have kept away from looking up news, but like in 97 or 98, whenever Final Fantasy came out, like, it has, yes, it's one of the most iconic cast of characters in games. Like, people just totally fell in love with the characters, and like, I was really confused when she was playing the remake, because when I watched her play remake, I had no idea that they'd split it into 3 games. So when I saw her play the remake, I thought I was going to watch her play Final Fantasy VII Original remade and not part 1 of 3. So there's all of the lore and all of the stuff that I know that she's gonna love because she's loved stuff in. I mean, I didn't even really remember who Jesse and the 2 other guys were, right, that she was talking about, and because to me they were such a small part of the game. I was like, I don't know who those people are. Who does she keep going on about? And they're just such a small part of the game because they're in and out of it in less than the first third of the game. So yeah, I didn't understand who these characters were, why she was so attached to them, and not attached to the characters that most of us that were around for OG were attached to. And so I just really wanted to see her. I want to see her go through, and I want to see how they change, if they changed, because the twist, which some of you know what I'm talking about and some of you don't, but there's a twist in Final Fantasy OG that was, it was like the first time they used that kind of a twist in a video game, like, ever. And you don't actually play the OG game until a remake came out, and I binged the OG game right before the new one came out. So, yes, Tifa Lockhart is a Final Fantasy character. Sephiroth, Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, who is Aeris in OG, but now she's Aerith, the correct spelling. And Yuffie, who we just found when Trey stopped playing. Which I think she says Yuffie, but I believe it's Yuffie, or was. Maybe they changed that one along with Aerith. Barrett's daughter is a minor character that's referenced. And Seraph Genova, the president, Shinra, a lot of the people are still the same, but there's things like, there's a New Vegas, there's an equivalent to New Vegas, except it's actually a Vegas. I can't say how much New Vegas was like Vegas because I didn't watch a lot of the Fallout playthrough, but there's a Vegas type place in Final Fantasy that Trey does not know exists because she's kept herself away from knowing things. And yeah, that is one of the cool things about having a voiced game. You get to know how to pronounce. Well, I mean, they spell Aerith differently than they used to spell it too. They Americanized the spelling to Aerith, but you only recognize Tifa for the longest time. I thought that character was Lara Croft in the Tomb Raider games because they changed the Lara Croft look to look like Tifa. Yeah, they do kind of have a similar, especially when they're pixelated. Like, if you play the Kingdom Hearts games, you would be familiar with Cloud and Sephiroth because they're almost always make cameos in the Kingdom Hearts games. But yeah. But there's so many wonderful things that are awaiting Trey that I want to see, and I don't know whether they're going to do the twist that was in the original or if this is a new dimension of Final Fantasy VII that does not have the twist. But you've never played the KH games? Oh god, I love Kingdom Hearts games. So yeah, I want to find out what, and I haven't watched and I haven't like looked it up to see what happens and stuff like that, because if I get around to playing before Trey does at this point, I'm not going to be sad. But I want to see her reaction because she has no knowledge of what's coming, and I may not know what's coming, but I have an idea of some things that are coming, could come, or that could be different. But literally, there's a twist in Final Fantasy VII OG that had never really been done before in a video game. It was a first, and it shooketh the whole world of video games, the twist. It literally did. It was like the ending of The Sixth Sense, you know? It was the first time anybody ever thought of doing that kind of shit. Oh, look, I'm passionate. I said a swear word. Anyway, so I really just want her to play because I want her to enjoy it all, and I want her to see it all and experience it all. So, yeah, you want to know that too. It's like, how do they do it? Do they do it? Does it change? Because okay, can you guys hear me now? Okay, can you guys hear me now? There we go. Okay. No, somehow I muted myself. I don't know how. Like, I literally had to open the PlayStation menu, go over to the mic, and unmute it. Like, I had to go through like a 4-button stage to unmute it. I have no idea how it did. I saw it pop up on my screen, like a little mute button. I was like, oh crap. But I don't know how it muted it. It was like, hey lady, you know what game you're not playing? Final Fantasy. Get back to it. Yes. No, and about the Worf comment, I have not watched this far enough to be familiar with that. I've not rewatched enough to be familiar with that particular reference to Mr. Warfire and the Best of Both Worlds. I don't think. So, it's not ringing a bell, so. Yes, my PS was tired. Aloy was getting very jealous. She's like, hello. I just fought like a bunch of hardcore monsters here. Can you stop talking about Tifa and Yuffie? So, anyway. So Christopher, do you understand the modifications now that I was talking about and what I was getting from the big monsters? Because that's what I was doing, was pretty much trading up and making quick decisions on what to trade. The episode where Picard became... Oh, okay, yeah, no. That's like seasons away. I haven't even finished season 2 yet. I get to watch like 2 episodes a day because my husband isn't into it, and my kid just wants to watch Mickey Mouse Funhouse all day. So... You're slowly understanding. Okay. I'll try to explain what I'm doing better next time, as long as I'm not doing it in the middle of a fight, which occasionally I am, but... Alright. Did you watch the Summer Game Fest coverage? I watched a little and I saw that they were doing Lego Horizon. I don't know if it's a real thing or just for the show. They had Lego Alloy. That's so cool. I know I have not watched any coverage of it, and yes, my mom left Tuesday afternoon while I was still napping.
Full already.
I don't know why, but she decided, like, I'm gonna take off now. And I was like, whatever, fine. There's a dead fox over there. One of these must be the people that tick the Thunderbird off. But no, it scared me when I went mute though, because I have caught my cat chewing at my headphones that has my mic attached to it. I've seen him chewing on it a couple times and beat his little butt, but so I was really afraid that he had gotten... I've been trying to put it up on the shelf where he can't reach it, but I thought for a second there, oh crap, he's damaged it so much that now it's gonna keep cutting out and I'm gonna have to buy a new computer, a capture card, and headphone and mic. So, okay, the ad break's starting in 3 minutes. I don't actually know, what is Lego Day of the Devs segment, and they showed some really interesting indie games. That's cool. Lego Horizon, is that a game? If it is a game, a computer game, it would be the Lego version of this game, if I'm understanding correctly, Christopher. However, sometimes they just do stuff like that to to it could just be a set they made, but because this game may be getting a redo, there's some signs hinting that they may be actually going to remake this game with new graphics. Because this was a PS4 game, and so because they may be doing that, they may do a Lego little thing as well to hype it up and
Good. I can use this.
yeah, remaster. So, because it's all about advertising and selling and moving products and all that good stuff in our world. So, yeah, curious about it because it's cute, and that's exactly what they want you to be, is very curious. So, oh, hey, sure, I will trade with you. Okay. One 3 4 1 3 2 1 2 1 3 2 4 4 4 5 1 2 5 4 2 4 4 4 3 3 4 4 4 3 3 5. That one. Fire freeze 37. Fire shock, fire freeze. See, this is another one where I don't want to get rid of this one, even though it's the lowest one, because this is a fire shock, where this one's a fire freeze, and this is a fire freeze, 3713. And 3613, so I can get rid of this fire freeze and still have a fire freeze that's better, where this one I don't have a better fire shock split. So even though this one's 29 and this one's 36, this one's actually going to be more useful in certain cases with animals that are shock resistant rather than freeze. So, but I don't know if I need to get rid of either one right now. Oh, this one's going to be hard to get rid of too. Oh, this one's not though. This one can go because it's just freeze. Oh, I wish my tablet would stop turning off. Shock. Shock fire. Shock, okay. Corruption 26, Corruption 30. Handling terror. Handling fire, handling fire. And then my tablet goes. Or my computer. My laptop. Okay, it's real. It's called LEGO Horizon Adventures and it's coming out holiday 2024 already. Fun. Did we lose Leo somewhere along the way? Poor Leo, he was like, these people are insane. 10, 5, 12. Resist, stock. Resist and resist melee. Yeah, I'm not getting rid of that one or any of those because they're all that I have. Or any of those because they're all that I have. What about this one? Resist freeze and resist shock. Resist freeze, nope. Only 2 of those. Corruption. Resist corruption, resist corruption. Stealth resist shock, okay. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of that one. I need to leave space, otherwise when I'm doing them in the moment later, I won't be able to look closely enough to know that I need to keep some blues over some purples. For me, I watched particular episodes of TNG, DS9, and Voyager on VHS recordings in the car. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I grew up watching TNG, so I probably saw all of the episodes as they aired, but I remember at least, I would say season 3 on. I definitely was old enough to recall what I was watching. You put the trailer, cool, alright, I will have to watch that. So, alright, well, I sold off resources and I sold off modifications, so got space to pick stuff up again. Watched them many times whenever driving on long road trips going from one state to the next. My family would record each episode each week. Yeah. My family re-recorded them if we weren't going to be home.
Keep my guard up.
But besides that, I watched them pretty regularly. We didn't have... I have never had a TV in a car. Until my cell phone. That's the only thing I've ever watched in a car was my cell phone or my tablet. So, only within the last 10 years that I ever watch anything in a moving car. I can't remember who was in here, but somebody was in here the other day, Scrap, and I forget what I was doing, but I was like, I had to defend some town, and I just, every time I was trying to fire this cannon thing, instead of firing it, Aloy kept dropping it, and I was like, I did not press the triangle button. I am pressing exclusively L2 and R2 like it said, and I don't know how the heck it expects me to be hitting the triangle because I'm not. And I don't know why it's dropping it. And so I just ran out there and killed a bunch of people with my bow instead, or my spear. And they were like, oh my god, what are you playing this on? I was slaughtered so many times, I could never go down there. And so, I was like, I don't know, I usually play on average, and then I looked, and I saw my games on easy because when I first started playing it, it was you and I mostly talking about it, and we decided we should play it on easy so that I could get through it and not be as caught up in the mechanics of the game and move the story along faster. Otherwise, it'd probably take me, at least another couple weekends. And then all of a sudden, I felt like such a wuss. I felt like here I was really thinking that it was because I was doing all these quests that I was able to, kick some real butt, and I thought I was a really good player, and I'm on easy. Yeah, I thought we put it on normal too, but it's on easy. Like, I went in here and looked, and it's on easy, and I was like, oh my god. So, I was like, oh man. I just felt like all my achievements are nothing. I just needed to be you to come and be in chat and be like, that was me. I told her I didn't want to see another month of gameplay because she only plays on the weekends.
Sun King was lucky you were there to help him.
Because I had been really proud of my gameplay. And then all of a sudden I was like, man, do I actually suck? I think I actually still, because I'm at level 41 and the quest that I'm on right now, the main quest, is a level 18. So I think that I would actually be doing kind of okay. I just wouldn't have nearly as many of the flowers and the vantage points and that kind of thing, which is exactly why we put it on the easier. Is so that I could do all that without slowing everything down. So, oh, you had cousins that had a TV in their big Chevy van, and you were always so jealous. Oh, my family would record no matter what because you never knew how good the episodes would be if you would have played. Oh yeah, true. Remember how that was? I remember when DVR came out and it was such content. Oh my god, yeah. Level 41. Yes. I am level 41. I'm not any other kind of 41. I told you I've been doing all the quests, man.
Little Spark. Any sign of that man?
I found him, Jira. I think you two will have a lot to talk about.
I like a good story. And a good drink. It's why I'm good at what I do.
He's bringing you both. Kendrick wants to be with you. He regrets that he took the word of the... Ealdorman?
Women know their place in the claim, was their word. It's the Carja's son that bakes their brains and gives them such thoughts.
That's...
The tribe. You can't bear a grudge. It'd make you go mad. My silly man. Little Spark, how can I thank you? There'll always be a drink for you at Hunter's Gathering.
Yummy. Also, sometimes we never knew if we were going to make it to see an episode or not. God. Yeah, my family, for the most part, until my parents divorced anyway, was very easy to know when you were going to see it or not, because my dad was one of those people that wanted his dinner on the table when he got home from work and yada yada, and which is why my parents got divorced. Well, part of why my parents got divorced anyway. Now, when UPN came around, you were in trouble if there was a sporting event. Oh my gosh, the same. No, I like literally like there's a show that my husband and I watch. Well, two shows, but now again one of them didn't make it through the new policy of, oh, we cancel every TV show that loses even a microscopic amount of its viewership. So, but there's a show on called Tracker now on CBS. And it was like Tracker and then CSI Vegas. And like, but they always get bumped if there's some kind of sports thing that goes along. First football, then basketball, and now maybe baseball, I don't know. And also if there's like presidential stuff or emergency news stuff. So we'd set our DVR, you know, it's just in our program for it to play, but you'd think the DVR would be smart enough to just record it when it's on, but instead, like, it's not going to, so we would always record the news, and, like, oh, it hurt to actually record it, but it's like one of those TV evangelist kind of, like, shows, like, something with curly-haired dude in a suit. And like, it hurt so much to hit record on his program, but we didn't want to miss it. If it was an hour late, then the CSI would be playing in his time slot. It just felt so wrong hitting record on an evangelist TV show. Because I hate that guy. Him in particular is really annoying too. And often you never knew when Voyager or Enterprise was going to play. Enterprise Season 3 was bad because of that, because they would have many sports events and miss a great deal of the show because of that. Gotcha, yeah. That kind of shit makes it so bad for streaming. Yeah, except now if you still have your DVR and your network television because you just want to be able to watch boob tube the way we used to. It's like, I think we pay twice as much as we used to because now we pay once for cable and a second time almost as much for streaming services. And I still need to find somebody that'll let me watch their Netflix long enough to finish the last 2 episodes of the Avatar show.
It's not what I imagined when I was a boy, but it's decent work keeping the city safe.
Cut the cord a while ago, yeah. We could, we should, but I don't know. I'm sure my husband would be willing to do it, but because he watches his games all online, but 6 years, wow. That's really good. I know we should, we just don't. Season 3 of Enterprise was constantly to be continued season, so if you missed a few episodes, you missed a lot of the serious plot going on with Xindi. Yeah. That I think they felt like they had to over-exaggerate the drama because they were very unsure how a female captain
for the trail.
was going to play out in the Trekkie-verse, you know? They just were not sure at all how and if people were going to like her. Which I don't really think they had anything to worry about, but you know. That's just me. Still uses AT&T cable. We have Comcast, I think.
I'll find a use for you.
Actually, that reminds me, my husband told me something the other day. He was like, you know, our internet wouldn't be so bad because we're talking about going to unlimited, because now that I'm streaming, we usually end up a little over at the end of the month, and it's not very much. It's like $10 or something, but still, it's annoying and it adds up. And my husband was like, well, we wouldn't be paying quite as much, except that I realized that the box that we have in the basement that we haven't ever used, I thought they were charging us $5 a month for it to rent, and they've been charging us like, I can't remember if it was 10 or 15. I was like, even if it was $5, why did you let them charge us for when we never used it? Like, why didn't you return it like years ago? He just like, it's not on his priority list. It just falls through the cracks, and I didn't even know about it, so it's not like I could remind him about it, but it's just one of those things. I'm actually okay, this is a very conditional statement, so, I am the better money manager out of the two of us, but, and it's a big BUT, I cannot handle financial decisions or purchases anymore. Since the worst of my Lyme sickness. Since it got really bad a few years ago, and when it got really bad, I couldn't think, I couldn't concentrate, I couldn't do anything kind of like that, and then also on top of that, I have been on disability for many years now, and I'm not a kind of person that doesn't earn my keep, I guess you could say. So being physically unable to run a household, and then financially unable to
This is where it ends.
welcome.
Do you have time to speak?
Yes, but you won't talk to me. So what's the point of asking me? Hey, look, they say,
Can you tell? All Mother says we should give as we're given. We will accept this as thanks.
What did you give me?
You got me through. Thank you.
They're like, can you talk? Can you talk? Come talk to us. And then, like,
You have my thanks, and the thanks of my family.
And, like, there's no point in talking to them. It's like, well, you're just wasting my time. And stirring up the bad guys. Oh well. They were blocking the fire anyway. Yeah, so, in fact, when I was going to business school, I worked 40 hours a week. I was going to business school, night school, at the same time. So, all of a sudden becoming physically unable to keep a house and financially unable to pay my own way was very, very stressful. And add to it all the physical limitations that I have still because of damage done that they don't understand how to fix, that I'll never get rid of. I now get panic attacks easier, and so now I can't even think about taking over doing our books or the billing, because the whole thing would just get me completely stressed out, and I would have so many panic attacks. It's kind of one thing that I'm really hoping that stream will help me alleviate a little of my self-cynicism and feeling that I don't pull my weight, quote-unquote, in the family. So, okay, let's see. The Zindi plot, I think, was an idea that came from Voyager 2-parter Year of Hell. Voyager's 2-parter Year of Hell, which was originally supposed to be like a season arc, and UPN refused to have a season arc. Like, gotcha. Yes, we all do have things like that, Scrap. Mine was hard. You could not do school and work. You struggled to just do college. I could not do college. I went to a university first, and it was really, really hard. I went to an art school for a little bit, and that was very hard too. Business school was not like real college. I could not do real college and work either. So don't think that I'm all that much better than you or anything, because no, it wasn't. It was mind-numbingly boring. Okay, good night, Scrap. Have a good one. Get some rest. We'll talk to you soon. So you're glad that you did college and not work at the same time? Yeah. No, when I was going to university and art school, I did not work at the same time. The business school was one of those, like, 2-year business associate, shortened class periods, like 6-week class schedules, and then you would change your classes every 6 weeks and stuff. You know what, I'm just gonna, like, I don't know why I didn't do this a while ago, but I can just frickin' jump to a way station over here. Since there's nothing to get, I don't want to go to that bandit camp right now. I went to 2 community colleges and 1 university. I wish that I had gone to community college. 6 weeks is not enough time. It was enough time for like literally I had a class on like Microsoft Word, and I had a class on Microsoft Excel, and I had a class on Microsoft Access, and I had a class on just general sciences, and like literally there was one teacher, and like according to her whatever they're called, they give you like the paper that tells you everything you're gonna do, the syllabus. I do. I prefer full semesters to learn a class too. The last art school I went to was a 5-week turnaround, and it was the stupidest thing that I'd ever had. Plus, the schedules were just it sped up the degree of my disease's deterioration on me exponentially, because they literally you would have an 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. class period time, or you would have a 4 p.m. to midnight class. And those were the 2 class schedules. And it was 5 days a week of the same. You had it was like 3 days a week and 2 days a week. You'd have 1 or 2 classes at a time. Usually 1, but sometimes you had 2. And it was 8 hours a day. And then, just like at most colleges, for every hour of classwork, you have about equivalent of 2 hours of homework, is what they say in university here. And in an art class, it was definitely like that, because art takes a long time, and so we'd have these classes, and I remember being in the art class, and it was making a Java website, which, how useless is that to know now? So glad I don't. It's okay that I don't really remember about anything about it. But the thing about it is that you had to start working on your concept for your final project your first week of class, because otherwise you would not have enough time to get your final project done. But every week you're learning how to use the program. So you have to try to figure out, figure out what you want to make a final project out of without knowing any of the basics. You're like, oh, I'm going to make this website that's going to look like this and do that, and you just kind of have to pull your ideas from others' Java websites that you've seen, or your imagination, and then just hope that sometime in the next 4 weeks you learn how to do the skills that will let you actually fulfill that vision. And if you don't, or as you go and learn certain skills instead of other skills, you have to keep revising what your end product is going to be. So your end product is never that great, because it was a concept that someone with absolutely no knowledge made, that was rewritten a bunch of times, which sounds like a good thing if it's done by people that know what they're doing. But when you're just hacking and it just becomes a Frankenstein. You're just cutting and chopping and sewing pieces together with limited knowledge, and it's just crap. So your hardest class was Imperial Russian class. Oh my gosh, we had 11 books for the course alone, and then extra reading from articles online, learning the artists, the painting names, reading poetry. Plus, you were graded on writing, syntax, grammar, spelling, and some of the books you had to read. The entire 300-page book plus another book of 300 pages for the week. Youch, that's a lot. Yeah, that's killer. I took one class that was science fiction fantasy, and it was about understanding the meaning behind science fiction fantasy, the deeper messages of science fiction fantasy. And we read this one book, and it was a good book, and I can't remember which one it is, but literally the girl in class next to me was like, as long as we knew that our final exam was going to be a paper that we had to write in like a 3-hour time slot or a 2-hour, 2.5-hour time slot, that we had to write a paper from start to finish. And the girl was like sitting next to me in class. She was literally like, as long as the topic is not about this book, I think I can pass the class. Like, I think I know what I'm talking about. And I told her, like, well, if it is, this is what that thing is about. And I told her what it was about, right? In a couple of phrases, because class was starting. We were only there a couple minutes early. And that's what the test ended up being in it. Like, it wasn't the final exam, it was the midterm exam. And so we both did midterm exam. We took the midterm exam, I finished, I took it up to the teacher. She looked at my, like, whatever it's called, they do like a brain bubble thing or whatever, like a layout, and organized, and then you go through, and she was like, she smiled and nodded, and she was like, yeah, I think you got this, and everything like that. Go home, come back to school, get to the class, like about a week later, come back to class. She passes out the test, and there's about 8 people that she included top sheets on their tests for, and like those 8 people had to report to her to get mandatory extra lessons. And it was because the whole thing was handwritten, and it was not an English class, it was a reading class, and she gave me like a C+ because I made like 3 spelling errors because I was writing fast, and so I doubled up a letter that wasn't supposed to be doubled or something, and I made 6 comma errors. So she said that I needed to see her after class to set up a time so that I could meet with her to learn the rules of when and where to use commas. And I was like, you know what? I am going to need a minute of your time after class to talk to you, but not about when I'm going to come to learn commas, because I'm not going into English. I am never going to have to write a paper that needs commas. If I write a business email, Word will put commas into it for me. So the extra time that I'm going to need with you after class is for you to sign this slip that says that I'm leaving your class. Thanks very much. Sayonara. Have good luck. But what really rubbed me the wrong way is that the girl who I literally explained the premise of the book to got an A on her test because she didn't spell anything wrong and wrote like a page less than I did. Have I ever had a teacher where if you got all the multiple choice questions wrong, you could get 100% on the test, but if you got 1 or 2 questions right, then you could fail the test? You had a world history class your sophomore year of high school where the students tried getting all the answers trying to get 100%. No, I did not have that experience. I did have a physics teacher, and I was very stressed out for his exam, first semester exam, because if I passed it with an A, I would be, if I got an A on his test, I would be a valedictorian for my high school class. And if I got anything less than an A, even if I got an A-, I would not be, because they didn't weight our AP classes, which was really stupid. So I would not be a valedictorian if I'd gotten an A-. So I had it factored down to like, I could get like I think it was 3/8 of a question wrong. Because it was only a 5-question test, because physics questions take like hours to answer sometimes. And so I figured out that out of the 5, I could get like an 1/8 of a question wrong or something, or like 1 question wrong, or I don't know what it was, but it wasn't very much. And so most of the teachers, like whenever we had exams, I don't know if yours was the same, when we had exams at my high school, they were always half days, and you had 2 exams a day, and you would have like an hour and a half to like an hour and 45 minutes for each exam, and there was like a 45-minute break in between the 2 classes, and then you would go to your next one and have an hour and 45 minutes or whatever, and then you'd go home for the day. Most teachers would let you sit that extra 45 minutes, like they would let you have anywhere from 10 to 20 to all of it to finish up your test if you didn't finish right when the bell rang. And this jerk-off teacher, who was always a horrible teacher, he was a jerk because he favored the jocks and the cheerleaders and gave them all of his help because he was the JV football coach, and he didn't want any of them to fail because then he would have to kick them off the team and put them on probation. And so he, like, I'm sitting there, I've got all the questions done. The first 3 I'm sure I have right. The first 2 I was sure I had right. The third one I was relatively sure. But the last 2 I was not sure at all if any of it was right. So that was way over my error margin that I could have. And so like I'm like physically practically bawling at that point, because I think there goes like my whole high school career of getting A's and crap, which is not important now, and I know that now, but at the time it seemed like it was my whole life. And so I was devastated, and I'm crying, and the bell rings, and he's like, okay, put down your pencils and turn your things in, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And most people just kind of, you know, get up and drag their feet to the front of class and turn it in and don't care. And I was, like, just sitting there trying to fiercely double-check or redo the last problem or 2, like, to make sure that I've got them correct and blah, 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 blah. And the teacher is like...
New plan.
Oh. What are you jerks doing here?
Gonna get you!
Why am I not...
Gonna wipe us out! Wouldn't want to be you, fool.
Really? I would want to be you. You just kicked a tree. So anyway, he was like, nope, you have to go, class is over, I can't give you any more time, and all this kind of stuff, which every other teacher was fine
So
with it.
chill. Bitches.
And he was just being a total jerkwad about it. And so I had to leave. And I was so upset, and I went and I hung out in my favorite teacher's classroom for the next break, and then I had to go to my next class, which was politics, and I hate social science. And it also didn't help that we had substitutes more often than we had an actual teacher in that class all year, because she was dealing with like her husband was like had cancer and stuff, like, so she was constantly leaving on absences and stuff. So by the time we got to the test, we had no idea what was even going to be on it, because like 90% of that class we just read Time magazine and like did mini book reports on articles. So yeah, like I finished up my test in there really quick, and the lady answers it, and she was like, "Oh, Zoe, you have to go back to your class. They want to talk to you. You got a phone call in the class." So I had to go back into my politics class, and the teacher was like, "Oh, Mr. Blah 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 just called my physics teacher, and he was like, he needs you to go see him right away." And I was like, okay, the last person I want to see. And so like I went to his classroom. His door was shut. There was like juniors in there take their test. I swear he gave me a dirty look as I was looking in through the window, which I'm like, you called me here, dude. I didn't come and stand outside your window.